Has it been a couple of years, maybe a couple of decades since your last job search? Are you really wondering what's changed? Well, more or less everything. Job search used to be very formalized. And even a few years ago, it was very different than it is now. So what has changed? Well, yes, you still need a resume, but you need a social media presence because the vast majority of hiring managers and recruiting folks are looking for you on social media. And even if they haven't found you that way from a recruiting sense, the minute they hear about you, get your resume, whatever, they're going to look you up there. And now, even cleared professionals and other people in jobs that are highly confidential have a social media presence. So, look at yours. Be sure there's nothing about you that makes you look bad, because more than half of all candidates have lost a job opportunity based on something found on social media. So, word to the wise. The next thing is, interviewing has changed. Oh yeah, they're going to ask you the same questions in many senses, but interviewing has changed. Interviewing now includes video interviewing, whether as a screening or even in some cases as the final and only interviews they do. A lot more companies are using panel interviews where you're going to be sitting down with 3 to 6 people and answering their questions. These interviews require some different preparation on your part. Certainly, for a video interview, you obviously want to be sure you're someplace quiet, you're not got a busy background with lots of dirty laundry or other things, and it is worthwhile. Put on something professional, at least on the top, as the TV people say, and smile. Be sure you smile. Those things make you look far more competent and far better in video interviews. In panel interviews, you need to talk to everybody on the panel. Even if one person is asking the question, you need to be answering all of those people. So, those are some big differences in that aspect of things. Now, in terms of your resume, resumes are still a critical part of the process, but you really want to arrive before your resume. And that means networking to find people in the company, in your field, who might be willing to give you insight, useful in those interviews we just talked about, and who might be able to sponsor you into the company. Companies love employee referrals. They love them because they are more successful usually for a company. They stay longer. You want to become an employee referral, which means you have to know employees. So that's a critical change. That's always been true for several decades now that people use employee referrals, but the percentage of jobs being filled that way gone way up. And you're going to be expected to know about the company, to have done your homework, to done research, so that you not only can answer very effectively the question of why do you want to work here, and in many cases from interviews, why do you want to work for me, which means you know to know who they are, but also because companies see the fact that you've done research and you know what they do and you know something about them as demonstrating interest, and they want people who are interested. Those are the bigger changes than resumes are to you. Those are things you have control over, but you need to understand them, prepare for them, and you'll knock out that job search very well. Good hunting.